A Richtfest, some might call it a topping off ceremony. The part of Germany where our family is from, it was a celebration of the craftspeople that built the house. Back in those days, you would invite the townspeople over to help you erect your home. There were no general contractors and such back then. It was community. Everybody helped each other out. And as a thank you for coming and helping them erect their home, their post and beam structure, they would throw a Richtfest.
So Richtfest centers around a few things. One, the tradition of signing of the last beam.
What's behind me is the sign-in beam. I like to have everyone that attends sign their name and give their best wishes before we start to seal everything up with insulation and drywall. So this is the kind of last opportunity to give the new homeowners best wishes and best blessings with their new home.
The other is the toast. We toast the house, if you will, or say cheers to the house.
With all of our hearts.
Ho, ho, ho!
Because once it's framed and the roof is on and the house is dried in, it's a structure. It's not just a pile of sticks anymore, it's a house. From this point on, we're finishing the house. And then item 3 might be the tree. There's always an evergreen on top of the roof.
Or in some parts of Germany, more in the south in Bavaria, it's a wreath. And that symbolizes the life coming into the home. My very first Richtfest that I remember was when my parents built a cabin out on the South Sound, and they got the house framed. And it was just like this, plywood and studs. They threw a Richtfest and invited all their friends, and that left a real impression on us of like, oh wow, that was just such a great celebration. You felt it. You felt that this was this moment where it was like, oh, it's not this construction project anymore. It's our family cabin now, and it had a life.
So traditional German food, traditional German music, just to kind of give people a sense of, I guess the tradition and honor that comes with being able to have the privilege to do something like this.
I think in general our family is very, very family oriented, very close-knit family, and so everybody does things together. And yeah, I think we grew up in an environment where the work that you do and how you make a living and what supports the family has to be celebrated. And it's a noble profession to put shelter together for people, put a roof over their heads.
The part that I like the most is when the tradespeople that have been in the house and have stuff in the walls, so the plumbers and electricians and the HVAC people, etc., that's all in the wall and it's about to get covered up by insulation and by drywall. So it's a great place to pause, come over, bring your family, show them what you do all day long, because you don't really get to see that. You get to see finished houses all the time in the magazines, but you don't get to actually see your work. So that's the cool part.
These are amazing people that are highly skilled, and they kind of work in anonymity. And in a small little way, we wanted to bring some light onto them to say, hey, look, you guys should be celebrated for what you do. If we're going to have like 15 different award ceremonies for movie actors, what about the people that build the homes we get to live in? Every time we do this, there's always a moment where some craftsperson, whether it's a plumber, electrician, or a framer, or a foundation guy, or you name it, is walking through the house with their family and their kids. And I heard one today, and it just, it gets you emotional because they're like, their kid is like, Dad, did you build this? And the dad's like, yeah, I did. I worked on that. And there's that, moment of pride. So they come to an event like this where it's like, oh, wow, this is what you do, and this is what you build with your hands. That's a lot of pride there. It's a neat thing for those people to be able to share that with their kids, for them to see what their dad or their mom does. It's pretty cool.